Today is a very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of Sri Jayadev Goswami. Srila Jayadev Goswami appeared in either the 11th or 12th century of the Shaka era. There is a difference of opinions about the place of his birth. The majority opinion holds that he hailed from the village of Kendu Bilwa, present in the district of Birbhum. Others hold that he was born in Orissa or in South India. Kendu Bilwa is situated about 20 miles south of Siuri on the banks of the Ajaya river. In the Gauriya Vaishnava Madan, it is stated that Jayadev Goswami found his Radha Madhav deities in this river's waters. It is also stated there that he used to rest and worship at the temple of Shiva known as Lord Kusheshwar, which is also on the bank of the Ajaya river. His father was Bojadev and his mother Bamadevi. Our Gaura Mandal Parikrama will go to this place. Last time when from Chakri wanted to go, but there was not enough time. Now again they are planning, but we'll see if it will happen. Kendu Bilwa. Jayadev Goswami lived for a long time in Navadip during the reign of the king of Bengal Lakshman Sen, making his home not far from the king's palace. At that time, the king's chief scholar was Govardhan Acharya. According to Ashutosh Dev's Bengali dictionary, Jayadev Goswami was Lakshman Sen's court poet. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote in his Navadip Dham Mahatmya that Lakshman Sen was delighted when he heard Jayadev Goswami hymn to the 10 avatars, the Dashavatar Stotra, Keshavadrita Meena Sharira. That song. When Govardhan Acharya notified the king that it was Jayadev Goswami who had composed the hymn, he became desirous to meet the poet. He went incognito to Jayadev Goswami's house, and when he saw him, he noticed that Jayadev Goswami possessed the characteristics of a great and powerful spiritual personality. Greatly impressed and attracted by Jayadev Goswami, the king revealed his identity to him and invited him to come and live in the royal palace. Jayadev Goswami was leading a much renounced life and was therefore unwilling to live in the opulent environment of the palace. He told the king that he preferred to live in Jagannath Puri. He said, I cannot take this offer. Then he threatened that, no, I will not stay here. If you will disturb me, then I will go to live in Jagannath Puri. Devotees, they don't like to stay in some opulent environment and where enjoyment, all these things going on. Our Gurudev also, when he was invited to some interreligious conference in Spain, and they were pressing him, then Guru said, but I heard there is like no place there to stay. And he said, if there is any devotee house, then I can stay there. He may be poor, that does not matter, nothing. But I cannot stay in some touristic hotel there because that is not, because people, they're doing all kinds of sins there. So Guru said, that is no matter, poor, but devotee's house is congenial for us, no any touristic hotel. Lakshman Sen was disappointed by Jayadev Goswami's intentions. He quickly suggested that he take up residence in the village of Champahati, saying that it was a place suitable for a person who wished to lead a meditative life. He also promised him that he would never come to disturb him again. When Jayadev Goswami agreed, Lakshman Sen had a cottage built for him in the village which was formerly known as Champakahata. named after the beautiful garden of champa trees and the village market where its flowers were sold. It was in this village that Mahaprabhu's associate Dvija Baninath received a vision of him in the Satya Yuga. Seeing him in the form of a Brahmana whose skin was the color of a champa flower, that is yellow. Similarly, Jayadev Goswami had a vision here, first of Radha Madhav, then of their combined form as the golden, champa-colored Gauranga Mahaprabhu. After the Lord gave Jayadev Goswami this vision, he told him to go to Jagannath Puri. Although Jayadev Goswami was set to leave the future abode of the Lord, he obeyed the Lord's command and made his way to Puri. We hear this in Navadip Dham Mahatmya. He was sorry. Oh, why did I desire? Why did I tell I will go there? Because Mahaprabhu told him already before you told you will go to Jagannath Puri, so now you go. But Jayadeva was then sorry. Then Mahaprabhu said, you don't worry, you go there, you take darshan of Jagannath. Then after disappearance, you will again come here. So where it is said in Puri that he was the court poet of the king of Orissa. He spent the remainder of his life in the abode of Lord Jagannath, where he wrote the transcendental poem based on the sentiments of love in separation known as Gita Govinda or Ashtapadi. Indeed, Mahaprabhu told Jayadev Goswami while giving him the vision in Navadip that after appearing there, he would take sannyas and go to Jagannath Puri, where he would relish the Gita Govinda. Further information about the life of Jayadev Goswami is found in the preface to the Kolkata Basumati Sahitya Mandir's edition of Gita Govinda. There it is written, sometime prior to the Muslim conquest of Delhi, King Manikya Chandra ordered the writing of the book Alankar Shekhar, in which Jayadev Goswami is mentioned as the court poet of the king of Orissa. Sridhar Das, the son of one of the chief courtiers of Lakshman Sen, included many of Jayadeva Goswami's verses in his anthology Sat Ukti Karnamrita, citing a work named Amiyava Kabya. The colophon to one ancient manuscript of the Gita Govinda states, Jayadev Goswami had a great reputation as a poet during the time of Lakshman Sen. According to legend, Lord Jagannath himself ordered Jayadev Goswami to marry his wife Padmavati. The story is told in the Vishwakosha as follows. There once was a Brahmana who was without offspring despite having worshipped Lord Jagannath for many years in the hope of having a son. So this is for like ordinary man, this is strange. What does the worship of Jagannath have to do with getting a son? For getting a son, you need to have one lady and you do sexual union, then you will get son. Why? What is the necessary of worshipping Jagannath for getting son? But he did not get son in spite of worshipping Jagannath, and even this is, even worshipping Jagannath not having son, so what is the use? The point is, even if someone does sexual union and semen enters and everything, there is no surety that the child will come. It depends on the will of Krishna in the form of giving the fruit of our karma. But some people, they have in their karma, they cannot have child. Like in the case of Chitraketu Maharaj. And it was not in his karma. In the case of Atmadev, that sadhu told him, not even in this life, for next 7 lives you don't have son or children in your karma. So you give up this desire, you worship Krishna, why you are this? So Gurudev also wrote in many letters, whether we will get a child or not depends on the will of Krishna. depends on our previous karma. Or if Krishna wants to, even if it is not in our karma, he can give if he wants. But if it is in our karma, it is Krishna who is giving the result. So always it depends on the will of Krishna. So he was worshipping Jagannath. He knew without his grace it is not possible. But he did not have. Finally, he and his wife had a daughter, and they named her Padmavati. Also, this is true. It is not that any time you want to have a child, it will happen. No, some will have one sexual union, I heard. They will get pregnant. One. Someone may try 1 year, will not come. Then after so many years, he can come, child. So it is not so easy and just physical laws and these things. No. Atma has to enter. Atma enters by the will of Krishna. So they had a daughter. You know also Nanda Maharaj Jashoda, not getting child. In old age they got a child. In old age. When she, yes, they named her Padmavati, this daughter. When she came of marriageable age, the Brahmana brought her to Lord Jagannath to offer her to his lotus feet. Because this is the custom in Jagannath Puri and in Orissa, they will offer their daughters in marriage to Lord Jagannath before they marry anyone else, to show that actual husband, actual owner is Jagannath. They have such faith, and it is true. Everyone belongs to Jagannath. When he saw them, means Jagannath, when he saw them, Lord Jagannath himself said to the Brahmana, I have a servant whose name is Jayadev Goswami. He has given up family life and has dedicated himself to chanting my names. Give your daughter to him in marriage. Already Jagannath knows what is the mood of Jayadev Goswami. He gave up family life, not interested, only interested in the service of Krishna. But Jagannath, even then, Jagannath ordered you give to him, because this marriage will not be for sense enjoyment. It will be, they will dharma, that ashram, grihastha ashram, or dharma patni, dharma pati. The wife is dharma patni, that the one who will do dharma and assist in dharma. And husband is dharma pati, one who will do dharma and assist in dharma. That is pure marriage, pure household. No enjoyment desire there. Even if they have children, that is not out of enjoyment desire. It is for the service of Krishna. But of course, such householders are very rare. But they are. It is also not true that all who are brahmacharis or sannyasis, that they are automatically pure devotee. That is also not true. Very rare pure devotee you can find. The Brahmana took his daughter to Jayadev Goswami and asked him to marry his daughter. However, since Jayadev Goswami had no desire to get married, he refused to agree to any arrangement. Then the Brahmana told him that it was Lord Jagannath himself who had arranged this marriage. And without another word, he left, leaving his daughter behind. Jayadev Goswami found himself totally unprepared for this situation and told the girl, tell me where you want to go and I will take you and leave you there. You cannot stay here in my cottage. Padmavati started to cry and said, "My father brought me here to marry you on Jagannath's order. You are my husband, my all in all. If you do not accept me, then I will fall down at your feet and die right here. You are my only hope, my Lord." This was sincere. Really, she had firm faith in Jagannath. That is why she was suitable wife for Jayadev. She was also pure devotee. And that is why she told, "Jagannath selected you as my husband, you are my husband. If you want to reject me, okay, then I will die, because without you I have no reason to live, so I will die." Sincerely, she said. We may hear from someone speaking like this, they may say, but whether it is from the heart, from the core of heart, Krishna knows. And they are really ready. She proved after that also, she proved that really she was meaning this, that you are my husband and you are my Lord. It is by Jagannath's desire. So because she was sincere, and because really it was Jagannath's order, then the poet and scholar Jayadev Goswami could not abandon her after such a heartfelt plea. It was really real, not from mouth, from core of heart. So he became a householder. Like Srinivasacharya, he also did not want to marry, but it was the order of his guru, he married. And the order of Mahaprabhu, he married second time. That is for the service of Krishna. It is different. Generally people, at least before, nowadays it is not important anything, but before it was like by church and Vedic like this. If you want to like unite with woman, then you have to be married. And there are some rules and regulations. Then you can do. So for this they married and they followed. But nowadays this is no importance anywhere. They will do enjoyment whether married or unmarried, or even if married after divorce and cheating and going to another, and all these things is going on. Because this is Kali Yuga, so sense gratification is main target, and no at any cost, no problem. Married with children, but having another one also for sense enjoyment, and giving up, or everything goes, no problem. But this is not like that. Jayadev Goswami took up like a license. Now I get the license for sex enjoyment. Now I got license by getting married. They think like this. So now if I'll do, there is no sin. But it is sin if it is for enjoyment only. Marriage means many other things also. You have to do your duties. If church marriage and Vedic marriage, all this, there are so many duties. They are meant for you to develop love of Godhead. But those who are irreligious, atheist, for them marriage, this is nothing. No importance. There, the importance is sense enjoyment at any cost, in any way. Jayadev Goswami took up the worship of an Narayan deity, and in the waves of love he felt for him, began writing Gita Govinda with incomparable ambrosia. It is said that though Jayadev Goswami is responsible for all the moods and sentiments that appear in the Gita Govinda, he had some reticence about writing that Krishna fell down at Radharani's feet to beg her forgiveness when she was angry with him for having deceived her. Hesitant to write. And someone will say, how? That is why you should not speak Krishna Lila in public. Because those who have no faith and those who are not advanced devotees, they cannot understand this. Once I experienced this, I was speaking that Krishna is sometimes stealing. He was stealing from Gopi's milk, and sometimes he spoke lie, not telling to that what is in his mouth, like this. Then one was disturbed, one lady, she was in problem. How you can say this? God cannot do any sins? Then I was surprised. Then I had to explain all these things. Otherwise they will misunderstand. So, how Krishna deceived Radharani, deceiving, but stealing, deceiving, lying of Krishna, who is absolute good, is actually sweet and beneficial for all. But we have to be properly spiritually trained to understand Krishna Lila, what it is about and how it is so. But if someone like jump immediately thinking, then he will think either Krishna is not God or God is not good. On that day, when he left the house to take his bath in the ocean, Lord Jagannath himself came inside, disguised as Jayadev Goswami, opened his manuscript and completed the verse he had started. Smara Garala Kandanam Mama Shirasi Mandanam. With the words Dehi Pada Palavam Udaram. Half verse, Jayadev, because in his Samadhi he was seeing that Lila, but he was hesitant to write that how the Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will beg Radharani for forgiveness. He could not write, but himself Jagannath or Krishna wrote this till the end. Make the noble blossom of your foot an ornament on my head, as it dispels the poison of love in separation. Please forgive me. You put your feet on my head and forgive me. Padmavati was surprised to see her husband back so soon from his bath and asked, "What are you doing here? You just left a minute ago." The disguised Lord Jagannath answered, "I thought of something I had forgotten while on my way. I was afraid I might forget, so I came back to write it down." Not long after Lord Jagannath had left, the real Jayadev Goswami returned. This time, Padmavati was really astonished to see him. She said, "You just left to go and take your bath. Just a few moments ago you were writing your manuscript and then you left. How could you have finished and come back so quickly? I am beginning to wonder who that was and who you are." Jayadev Goswami was clever enough to guess what had happened, and he went and looked at his unfinished text and saw the words that the Lord himself had written. The hair stood on end all over his body, and tears came pouring from his eyes. He called Padmavati and said to her, "You are so fortunate. Your life has been made worthy. You have had the good fortune to see the Lord himself. I am so lowly that I did not have that opportunity." Here Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj also spoke one detail from his own realization, that when Jayadev Goswami left, then Jagannath came in the form of Jayadev Goswami, and after writing that, Padmavati gave him breakfast, what she cooked, offered, she gave him, and Jayadev means Jagannath was eating. Then Jagannath left again. Then when real Jayadev came, then he saw his wife eating breakfast And she was always eating the remnants of husband after breakfast. So he was surprised. How is it that she can take before I took? How is this possible? Then she told him, you took already before. I'm taking after you. Then he was surprised. Then he went and he understood it was actually Krishna who was. Then he also took that prasad and was getting all ecstatical symptoms. Then he told his wife, you are so fortunate. You got the darshan of Krishna directly and you fed Krishna directly. And you took his prasad. You are so fortunate. And maybe I forgot, maybe he even took, yes, he took actually the remnants of Padmavati because she was eating. Then he grabbed that and he was eating and got that ecstatical symptom. You are so fortunate. Generally, husband, he will not eat the remnants of wife. But here he took it because of this reason. Directly Krishna came. And she got this service, so fortunate, because she's a real devotee. There is a legend told in Jagannath Puri that there was a flower gardener's daughter who had learned Gita Govinda and would sing it with great emotion. Lord Jagannath was attracted by her singing and would go to listen to her, only returning to the temple after she had finished singing. One day, when the king of Orissa came to see the deity, he saw that the Lord's body was covered in dust and his clothes were filled with thorns. He asked the pujaris the reason for the Lord's disheveled condition, but no one could explain how it had come about. The servants of the deity were afraid that they would be punished, but that night, Lord Jagannath appeared to the king in a dream and explained that no one was to blame for his clothes being soiled that day. He had gone to listen to the gardener's daughter and had become covered with dust and thorns while hiding in the garden. Who said that Jagannath cannot walk? He can walk. That Shakshi Gopal also walked. Deity is not wood, is not stone. It's Krishna himself, but looking like wood, looking like stone. But not stone, not wood. Those who are devotees, by Krishna's own revelation, they can see this. He was going there and he was hearing. The king was struck with wonder by his dream and immediately sent for the gardener's daughter to be brought to the court in a palanquin. That is why our Gurudev told, you should repeat the songs of pure devotees. Because pure devotees, out of their devotion, they are singing for the satisfaction of Krishna, those songs. So if you repeat those songs, Krishna will be pleased. You don't write some poetry from your own mind. That will not be same. That is material sound. But what they are writing, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gurudev said, or Narottam Thakur, even if you don't understand the meaning of that song, but that song pleased Krishna. If you repeat with devotion, with sincerity, even if you don't understand the meaning, you will get tremendous spiritual effect, devotional effect, you will get it. Then Gurudev explained he himself got experience reading that Kalyan Kalpatar on the order of Param Gurudev. He got all ecstatical symptoms, could not speak further. So, it is true. That is why Gurudev said, you repeat the prayers of Gajendra. He satisfied Krishna. You repeat the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Thakur. They are pure devotees. Here, we can see Jagannath Dev wrote Gita Govinda for the satisfaction of Jagannath or Krishna. He is so satisfied, he wants to hear. and he went there. That girl was singing nicely. He wanted to hear the Gita Govinda, or where Bhagavatam is going on, Krishna sits there. The king was struck with wonder by his dream and immediately sent for the gardener's daughter to be brought to the court in a palanquin. After making inquiries from her, he decided that she should sing for Jagannath in the temple rather than obliging the Lord to leave the temple and get all dirty. This was the beginning of the tradition of the temple, engaging girls named Devadasis to sing Gita Govinda for Jagannath's pleasure. Still it is going on. In the last 12 years of his pastimes, Mahaprabhu was absorbed in Radha's mood and constantly relished this hidden spirit of love. During this time, he would savor the songs of the Gita Govinda. Day and night, the Lord would speak as though he were Radha meeting Uddhava. Uddhava came to Vrindavan to send the message of Krishna. He thought, I will teach Brajavasis, but he got lesson. He was astonished by their devotion. Before he thought, I am great devotee. I am the best devotee. Even Krishna is telling. But then he got lesson in Vrindavan, especially from the gopis, and especially from Radharani. What came from Radharani's heart, she was telling to Uddhava, then he was astonished. That is why Uddhava was praying, Bande nanda brajastrinam padarenum abhikshnasha yasham harikatot gitam punati bhuvanatrem. I cannot sing the glories of the lotus feet of gopis. I am singing the glories of the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. Dust. And this constantly I am singing the glories. Padarenum, the dust from the feet of gopis, all the time. Because that harikatha from the gopis, that is different. That is purifying the three worlds. And he said, if I can get a bird in Vrindavan as one creeper or grass on which the gopis there walking, and the dust will come on my head, then I will think this bird is successful. Generally we hear human birth is highest, but he's praying for the birth as a grass, which is lowest birth, Trinada Pisunichana. But this dust is getting this grass is getting the dust from the feet of gopis. That is why Uddhava wants to be grass in Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu was in this mood of Radharani. He would also relish the poems of Chandidas, Jayadev Goswami and Vidyapati. We are singing Vidyapati, Madhava. Bahuto minoti koritoi Madhava. That song. And so many other songs. Goswamis, they were also doing songs. Shankya Purva Kanama Gana. They were singing songs. Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Daite Krishna Deva Bhavantang Banda and so many other songs in Sanskrit. This is devotional service, to sing songs, but from pure devotees. Mahaprabhu was never pleased to hear books or verses that contradicted Siddhanta, nor did he like hearing rasa bhas, an improper mixture of devotional sentiments. It was the practice of Swarup Damodar Goswami to examine all works of literature to find out whether their conclusions were correct. Only then would he allow them to be heard by the Lord. Shri Swarup Damodar used to make Mahaprabhu very happy by singing the songs of Vidyapati, Chandidas and Gita Govinda. But we don't care. We just like some nice music and instruments and dancing for our enjoyment. That is our target. But real devotees, they don't like. They want to hear Pure devotee songs end with right intention for Krishna's satisfaction. Swarup Damodar would sing songs that reflected the moods of the Lord whenever they arose, while Ramananda Rai selected verses from Vidyapati, Chandidas and Gita Govinda according to the Lord's mood. We like to hear these worldly songs of romantic love between man and woman. We like so much these songs. But this is total illusion, Maya. That Narottam Thakur also told that you should not, those who want to practice devotion, you should not hear these songs, worldly songs, and these worldly lusty affairs they are singing. This will be detrimental to your bhajan. The Lord returned to external consciousness for a moment and told Swarup to sing some sweet songs. Swarup sang one of Vidyapati's songs and then songs from the Gita Govinda, which were greatly appreciated by the Lord. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chandidas Vidyapati Rayar Nataka Giti Karnamrita Shri Gita Govinda. Swarup Ramananda Sone Mahaprabhu Ratri Dine Gai Shune Parama Ananda. Day and night, Mahaprabhu ecstatically relished the songs of Chandidas, Vidyapati and Ramananda Rai's place, as well as Krishna Karnamrita and Gita Govinda in the company of Swarup and Ramananda. Many other amazing and miraculous events our Gurudev told in Harikatha when he was in America, San Francisco, in 2002, August 12th. The devotees, they were singing some song there, or Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then Gurudev asked, you understand the meaning? They said, something little we understand. Then he said, even if you don't understand the meaning, you will get actual benefit. He said, I heard in the tape recording of Sai Maharaj's classes, he used to sing one song of Narottam Thakur or one song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur before his class. Sometimes he would explain the meaning, sometimes not. So he said he had some reason for this. Why he introduced this? Singing of Bengali songs. Gurudev said this is not Bengali. It is transcendental Bengali. It is not of this world. He said he had some reason why he was doing this. Always praying for the grace. And he said, now you are habituated. He said, this is very good. You are singing these songs. Even if you don't understand the meaning, don't worry. But this is, Swami Maharaj introduced this. It is for a reason. Then he explained, this is devotional practice and you will get devotional awakenment. Krishna is pleased to hear these songs. Many other amazing and miraculous events were scattered through Jayadev Goswami's life. He used to serve his deities, Radha Madhav, in a trance of divine love. It is said that just as the devotee dedicates himself to the Lord also dedicates himself to his devotee. One day, Jayadev Goswami was thatching his roof under the merciless midday sun. Lord Jagannath saw his devotee's discomfort and decided to help him finish the work quickly by handing him the rope needed to bale the straw and removing the finished bundles and placing them on the roof. Jayadev Goswami thought that Padmavati was helping him in this way. But when he came down from the roof after finishing much earlier than expected, he saw no one there. He asked his wife, and she told him that she had been busy elsewhere at the time. He was curious about what had happened, but struck with wonder then when he went into the deity room and saw that Madhava's hands were black from handling the straw. He was thus able to understand that Lord Madhav himself had come to help him thatch the roof. He fell down before his Lord and started to cry. So if one is surrendered to Krishna, Krishna is ready to do anything for him. They had no children, but Krishna himself came because they are fully surrendered. Also that Govinda Ghosh, I think, his son died, wife also died. Then he was thinking like ordinary household, then who will do my Shraddh ceremony after I die? Then how my sins will be removed? Someone has to, son will do Shraddh, that is why he's called Putra, one who will rescue you from hell, Putra. Then Krishna said, Diti said, I will do Shraddha for you. There is actually no necessity for Govinda Ghosh for Shraddha, but they played such pastime. You don't worry, you have child or no child. What you have to worry is service of Krishna. If you are doing service of Krishna, then everything Krishna will arrange. But if not doing service of Krishna, who guarantees that your child will live up to your old age? Who guarantees this? Can any guarantee? Who guarantees he will stay in house, he will want to serve? All these things. There is no guarantee. So the only reliable thing is we have to surrender to Krishna and do what he wants. If he wants children, then have children. If not, there is no need. But we should not worry or calculate, material calculation, I will have child and he will serve me. There is no guarantee. But if we surrender to Krishna, that is guaranteed that we will be taken care of. Because Krishna himself said, Yoga Kema Bhamya, I give what is required. So he himself came to do this housework. And that Shraddha, so many other examples also there. But we are conditioned souls, we are always making our own calculations for our own thing. We are never thinking of service of Krishna. We have no faith. By serving Krishna, everything is done. That we have no faith. Otherwise, it would be shown in our actions. On another occasion, Jayadev Goswami wished to put on a festival for his deities, Radha Madhav, but he was short of money. He decided to travel in order to collect some funds for the festival. On his journey, not for his own sense enjoyment, on his return journey, he was stopped by a band of thugs who not only stole his money, but cut off his hands and feet and threw him down a well to die. Despite the pain, Jayadev Goswami shouted out the names of the Lord loudly. But what we conditioned soul would do? How Krishna, how you can allow this? How you can allow to your devotee this such suffering? How you can allow this? We think like this. Because we have no actual faith in Krishna. We have faith in ourselves, not in Krishna. That is why we always complain against Krishna. He is bad, I am good, he is bad. But Jayadev Goswami, what he did? He was singing the names of Krishna. He knows nothing can happen without the will of Krishna. So why he did not complain, oh Krishna, why you are doing this to me? And one may ask, how Krishna can allow this for his devotee to happen like this? He's his devotee, pure devotee. Why is Krishna allowing such to give such suffering to his devotee? So Krishna is bad, totally bad. What is the use of being his devotee? We can see now what is the use. He surrendered to him, he's giving him, he's serving him, but Krishna is doing this to him. So I will not worship Krishna, I will give up Krishna. This is our thinking. But Jayadev Goswami was chanting the names of Krishna. in praise of Krishna. Because he's a real devotee, not pretender devotee. I'm pretender devotee. I want something from Krishna for my own material sense enjoyment. When that is not fulfilled, then I will kick Krishna. That is not real devotion. The real devotion Krishna will show to the world. We cannot deceive anyone. We may pretend, but Krishna knows everything and he will show. After Jayadev Goswami had spent 3 days in this way, the king happened to pass that way on a hunting expedition and heard the sound of the holy names coming from the hole in the ground. The king approached this sound out of curiosity and was horrified to see Jayadev Goswami in such a serious condition. He had him pulled out of the well and brought back to his palace, where he had him treated. Under the care of the king and the queen, Jayadev Goswami was gradually returned to health. So he was chanting. He did not lose faith in Krishna. But immediately Krishna is bad. Both the king and queen were charmed by Jayadev Goswami's sweet singing of the Gita Govinda as well as by his saintly character. Or others are bad. They are the cause of my suffering. They are giving me suffering. We don't believe in Krishna, that Krishna is giving the fruit. We don't believe this. By our action it is seen. We are blaming others, they are the cause of our suffering. Not believing that we are getting the fruit of our own actions which are given by Krishna through that instrument. We are not accepting this. Then how we will do bhajan? We can only pretend to do bhajan, like some singing, dancing, enjoying, but that is not bhajan. As well as by his saint, both the king and the queen were charmed by Jayadev Goswami's sweet singing of the Gita Govinda as well as by his saintly character. They immediately sent for Padmavati and had her brought to their palace. The royal couple heard about Krishna from Jayadev Goswami and took initiation from him and started to make their lives successful by service of the Lord and his devotees. So not only he had faith in Krishna, he awakened faith in others for Krishna. Like we heard from Madhusudan Maharaj in Vienna, when Muni Maharaj was disappearing from this world. Then Muni Maharaj told him, Krishna is testing me, because outwardly it seems like so much suffering, so much problem, all this and all these things. Krishna is testing me. So we may have faith in Krishna or we may lose faith in Krishna. Why is this happening to me? So Madhusudan Maharaj felt, I was so much inspired to chant all the time Harinam from within. Automatically it was coming by the faith of Muni Maharaj. That was also, I felt that, and I was so much inspired. So Muni Maharaj did not give up faith in Krishna. Oh Krishna, you are giving me this suffering, so I do not worship you. No, they are worshipping. That is real saint. And they can inspire faith in others also. The royal couple, yes, they took initiation from Jayadev Goswami. Yes. And took initiation from him and started to make their lives successful by service of the Lord and his devotees. One day, the robbers who had attacked Jayadev Goswami came to the king's palace as guests in the guise of devotees. This is also happening. Some people will pretend they are devotees, even taking dress, tilak, everything they will do. Even though Jayadev Goswami recognized who they were, because he is pure devotee, he gave them the appropriate honor due to their outward appearance and arranged for the king's hospitality to be extended to them. The robbers, however, did not understand Jayadev Goswami's forgiving and generous nature, and fearing capture and punishment, thought it best to leave without accepting the royal invitation, because maybe he will say later on, they are robbers. So they were afraid, but they don't know that devotee, they are not having enmity or hostile mentality to anyone. They are more tolerant than a tree. If you cut the tree, he will not protest, but he will give you all good to you. That is possible only for pure devotee, no one else. Like Ambarish Maharaj, like Jayadev Goswami, Haridas Thakur. They were killing Haridas Thakur, beating. And then they said, now you did not die. Now king will think we did not do our duty. He will kill us. Then Haridas Thakur, oh, you will have trouble because of me. Okay, I will die now. And he died. Means in Samadhi, look like died. To help them. And he also was always praying to Krishna, you please forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. That is why Mahaprabhu later told, I wanted to come, I wanted to cut them with chakra, but because you were praying for their welfare, I could not do that, because of you. But I embraced you, I took that beating on my head, on my back. I can show you, see, he showed, Mahaprabhu he showed. So to become such a devotee is not a joke, it's not easy. We can say many things, but practical life, we will be tested, we will be exposed. So a devotee, he will think, I heard from one devotee, he will think, I am reaping the fruits of my own actions. That is why I am suffering. But those who are pure devotees, like Haridas Thakur, they have no karma, they also will say, and also they will think, Krishna wants to show something to the world through me. He is so merciful. He wants to show to the world. He is so merciful, he is utilizing me. Here also Jayadev Goswami was utilized to show this saint. Who is the saint? So they left robbers. Jayadev Goswami understood their fear and asked the king to give them a large sum of money and an escort and send them on their way. Escort also. After they had gone a certain distance, the robbers said that to the soldiers accompanying them, you need not go any further. However, we would like to tell you a secret message to convey to the king. Prior to becoming Vaishnavas, we were the servants of a certain king who, for a very good reason, ordered us to murder this priest, Jayadev Goswami. That is why we cut off his hands and feet and left him to die. The priest gave us a lot of money and asked us to leave quickly because he was afraid that this secret would come out. You see what kind of lie. They lied, their Vaishnavas. They lied that actually Jayadev Goswami is one bad guy, criminal. That is why our king ordered us to punish him, to kill him. That is why we did this, because he did something very bad. So king had to punish him, we had to do that. So now Jayadev Goswami was afraid that this truth will come out, that really he's a bad guy and we had to kill him. He's a bad guy. So he was afraid that he's a bad guy will come out. That is why he bribed, give us money and send escort and polite, so that we will not tell to the king about his real nature, that how bad guy he is, that we had to kill him. So, but now, this is the message you have to give to your king. See what kind of lying, false accusing and lying someone can do. Because they were afraid that if Jayadev Goswami will tell they're actually robbers, they put me down, then king might go after them because they're robbers. So they wanted to make this story, no, actually he's a bad guy. So you tell to your king that he's a bad guy. That is why we had to do that, in case he will tell to king that, they cut off my hands and they put me in well. So, but there was a reason, because he's a bad guy. Then what happened? Unable to tolerate the telling of such a great lie. If we tell some lie about some worldly things and little this, that is sin. It is in Shastra, lying is a sin. Only in few cases you can tell untruth, but it is there in Bhagavatam, in which case if for protecting dharma, for protecting your body, or there are some reasons exceptional, but generally the lie is sin by itself. But if you make such a lie against a pure devotee, then this happens. Unable to tolerate the telling of such a great lie, the earth herself opened up and swallowed the entire gang of thieves. Immediately she swallowed, killed all of them. The goddess of the earth was unable to support the weight of these sinful liars, and so she swallowed them up. As they blasphemed the great devotee of the Lord, they met their doom in the bowels of the earth. When Shukracharya, the guru of the demons, told Bali Maharaj not to give the 3 steps of land demanded by Baman Dev, Bali answered that he was the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. How could he go back on his word like a miser once he had committed himself to giving in charity? He substantiated this by quoting the earth goddess. It is from Bhagavatam verse. Nahi asatyat parodharmati hovacha bur iyam sarvam sodhum alam manye rite lik aparam naram. There is no greater irreligiousness than untruth, says the earth goddess. I can bear any burden other than that of a person who constantly lies. So there in the commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained in which case, because Shukracharya told him, sometimes you have to tell untruth for protection of your wealth, otherwise how you will do your religious duties? Because now you are saying you will give him 3 steps of land, he asked, but you don't know who is he. He is Supreme Lord. He will take all your land, then you will have nothing. Then how you will do your religious duties? So you should tell a lie. You should not give what you promise. You should not. So many reasons he gave him. Why not? So there in commentary it is given. But to give to Supreme Lord everything, one does not become a loser or nothing he has. He gains everything. As we saw in the case of Bali Maharaj. So there, this is there. Bali Maharaj quoted this. How I can tell a lie? I told before I will give him. How now I can tell a lie? Goddess Earth is telling, I cannot tolerate this. Someone telling lies. But it is also there in commentary that it is one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga, which is mentioned, the verse is quoted, 12th canto, 2nd chapter, 3rd verse. The symptoms of Kali Yuga in Bhagavatam. There it is mentioned, people will always lie. And we can see this in Kali Yuga. In ordinary dealings, for ordinary things, they will lie in Kali Yuga. That is why Bodhayan Maharaj told me, Prabhu, you don't discuss things because it is very rare to find now in the world someone who is speaking the truth. Very rare. So you don't discuss, you keep silent, you chant. Because, and I know he's speaking from experience. Bhagavatam also telling, so what to do? The servants of the king who had accompanied these robbers were amazed to see them punished for their offense to Jayadev Goswami right before their very eyes. Punishment will come sooner or later, but it will come. Krishna cannot tolerate these things. They came back to the king's palace and told him everything they had witnessed. The king inquired from Jayadev Goswami about the robbers, and he told the entire story. He said, O king, a saintly man does not seek revenge from those who have done evil toward him, because he is tolerant as a tree. If you cut him, he will not take revenge, but he will give all good to you. Like if you cut sugar cane into pieces, sugar cane does not say, oh, you cut me, now I will give up my sweetness, I will become bitter. No, he's sweet. The gold, if you burn gold, gold will say, oh, you are burning me, you are burning me, now I will give up my shine, I will not shine anymore. No, gold will shine. He will not give up his shine. He will not become black. And if you rub sandalwood on that grinder, sandalwood will not say, oh, you are grinding me, so I will give up my good fragrance, I will give bad smell. No, sweet smell will come out. Like that, there is no bad thing in a sadhu. No bad thing. The more it is absent from his nature. The more you oppress a sadhu, the more his glory will be shown. The more. His goodness will be shown to everyone. Like Prahlad, Haridas, Ambarish, all Jayadev Goswami. The more it will show. For that reason, Krishna is making this. To show to the world. So, O king, otherwise how we can understand? O king, a saintly man does not seek revenge from those who have done evil toward him. They did evil. It is not Jayadeva's karma or fault or anything. Though they will never say, no, I am pure. Ambarish Maharaj said, no, it is my fault. That is why this happened. Haridas Thakur said, it is my fault. I was hearing some blasphemy of Vaishnavas and Krishna. That is why this punishment came. Always they will say, though there is no fault in them, but they will say it is my fault. But we conditioned soul, I am full of faults, but I will never admit my fault. Never. No, I am good. All are bad. I am the only one good. All are bad. That is the difference between conditioned soul and realized soul. So they did evil, really. But even that time, Hiranyakashipu did evil to Prahlad. They did evil, but they don't take revenge. It is impossible to bring out enmity from a sadhu. It is impossible, because it is not existing in his nature. There is no bad fragrance in sandalwood. That is why only sweet scent is coming out. There is no black thing in gold. That is why only shine is coming. There is no bitter thing in sugar cane. It is sweet. Like that, sadhu is always goodness only. You cannot squeeze out from him any bad enmity, anger, lust. You cannot, because it is not there. The more you try, the more goodness will come out. So the sadhus, the sadhu, saintly person, attempts to satisfy them with polite behavior. Even so, the Lord's flawless dispensation, What is dispensation? Giver of fruit. And flawless, what is flawless? Without flaw, without any mistake. Krishna does not commit any mistake. Flawless disposition will make them suffer the consequences of their own sinfulness, as he did in this case. So we should not worry. Why we are worrying? Why we are bothering about others? Krishna is giver. And why we are blaming others for our own suffering? If Krishna is flawless dispensator of the fruits of actions, only him, then why we are blaming others for my suffering? He is bad, all are bad. I'm the only one good, all are bad. That is because ignorant and not accepting Krishna. But we want to hear Srila. Dancing and nice, we want to hear. We don't want to hear about Dhruva, Charit, because we already heard. You tell us something new, you tell us Raslila. We don't want to hear about Dhruva because this point is there. You cannot satisfy Supreme Lord if you blame others for your own suffering. You cannot satisfy him because you are not accepting him. So we are saying I am a devotee, and I am not only devotee, I am very high class devotee. So I want to hear Asika topics. But in my life, practical life, I am not even devotee of Krishna. It is seen in my life. Not even a drop of devotion is there because action show. Jayadev Goswami's wife became a close friend of the queen. In those days, the practice of sati, where the wife would enter the funeral pyre along with her husband, was an accepted custom. Sati means Parvati, previous life. And now we will hear in Bhagavatam. That is why after her, this was made, Sati. The wife will give up body for the sake of husband, to join him. After her brother's death, the queen was mortified that her sister-in-law would have to die on a funeral pyre with him. Padmavati said to the queen, a faithful wife's life heirs, means pran, leave her body the very moment her husband dies. Also I heard from Srila Vishnu Maharaj, of Puri Maharaj. He told, no, it is not a pain. Outwardly we may think it is a pain. This queen also thought it is a pain, but it is not a pain, because they are doing out of devotion. So they don't get pain when entering into fire, because it is for a right cause. But because such faithful wives are not available now in Kali Yuga, at least not fully like that, this system is prohibited now. And also because devotee wives, they should not give up their body, they have to utilize this body for the service of Krishna. That will be actual service to their husbands. So they should not do this. But they have to chant Harinam, utilize this body for the service of Krishna. That will be real joining with the husband. That will be real service to the husband. But some, they want to die because now I can have no enjoyment of my husband, so better I die. That is not the real cause. That is not real. That is not good purpose. You will commit sin. These wives, they gave up their bodies so that they can join their husband in next life for his service. Not for, I want to die because now what is the use of this life? I have no enjoyment, then that is tamasic, it will be suicide, it will be sinful, you will go ghost. So when the queen heard this, she decided to test Padmavati herself. One day she announced to Padmavati that her husband Jayadev Goswami had suddenly died. As soon as this news entered her ears, Padmavati gave up her life. This shocked the queen, and she began to cry out of a sense of guilt for having caused it. The king went to Jayadev Goswami and begged him to return the life to her. The great devotee Jayadev Goswami whispered the name of Krishna into his wife's ear, and she opened her eyes as though she had just awakened from sleep. Upon seeing this manifestation of both Jayadev Goswami and Padmavati's glories, the king and queen, along with their courtiers and servants, paid their obeisances at their feet. Because she is really a chaste wife, and she wants the service of husband. That is why she gave up life. And he's a real husband. So when he did not die, that was not true. So he came and he could also revive her. It is stated in Bhagavatam, Guru Nasasyat Sajano Nasasya. You should not follow that person who cannot save you from death. Be he a guru, brother, mother, father, demigod, husband, anyone who cannot save you from death. Can we do this? Who can save us from that? Only Krishna and pure devotee. Only they. So Bali Maharaj rejected his Guru Shukracharya. He opposed to his service of Bhagavan. Bibhishan rejected his brother Avan. Jagya Patnis, wives of Brahmins, rejected their husbands. Bharat Maharaj rejected his mother Kaikeyi. Katvanga Raja rejected demigods. And Prahlad Maharaj rejected his father, did not follow him. But Narad Goswami is real guru. Dhruva and Prahlad accepted. Ambarish Maharaj is real husband. His wife accepted good husband. Prachetas accepted Shiva as the real demigod. He taught them devotion to Krishna. And Dhritarashtra accepted Vidur as his good brother. Vidur gave him good advice. What you are doing is wrong. But he accepted the advice of Vidur, brother. And Dhruva accepted Mother Suniti. She's a real mother. She told Dhruva, you worship Supreme Lord. But don't blame anyone for your suffering. Otherwise, Krishna will not be pleased. You are rejecting Krishna if you blame others. And Dhruva accepted the instruction of his mother. Is a pure mother. Then yes, wife, brother, mother, father. The sons of Rishabdev, they accepted father. And there are some other examples also. Father is a pure devotee or even avatar of Bhagavan. So positively we have to accept and follow pure devotees. So Jayadev Goswami, because he's a real husband, he could bring life to her, to his wife. How? By chanting Krishna Nam, pure Krishna Nam in her ear, to reveal the truth that he did not actually die. So Padmavati again came, because her target is only the service of husband. She was told, your husband left. So she said, okay, I will give up my body, I will go, I will serve him. Then when she came to know that her husband is here, she again came here. So such is the real husband. And Bali Maharaj accepted a real wife, because Bali Maharaj, he was thinking, I'm not sorry that I lost all my property, that I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry I cannot fulfill my promise to Bhagavan. I told him I will give him 3 steps of land, but by 2 steps he already took everything from me. How I can give him? He was very depressed, very sorry. I cannot serve Supreme Lord. Then wife Vindyavali, she told, my dear husband, yes, you offered everything to Supreme Lord, what you thought it was yours. But you did not offer yourself. You have to offer yourself also. Then he was very happy. Yes, you are right. You are giving proper advice that I should completely surrender everything what I think is mine, also myself. So she was giving right advice. So he accepted proper wife who will inspire for pure devotion. After this, Jayadev Goswami wished to see Vrindavan. He took leave of the king and queen, and then, taking his deities Radha Madhav with him, like a child. Gurudev said, you can take deities with you, you worship wherever you go, you worship there. Radha Madhav with him set off on a long journey. Once in Vrindavan, he began to serve his deities in a spot near Keshi Ghat. When the residents of the Dham heard Jayadev Goswami sing the Gita Govinda in his sweet voice, they were entranced. One merchant built a large temple for the deities on that side. That is still there, that temple. It is said that Jayadev Goswami returned to his birthplace in Kendu Bilva after living in Vrindavan for many years. He spent the rest of his life there, performing his bhajan. He would make the long walk to the Ganges every day to take his bath there. One day, for some reason or other, he was unable to make it. Ganga Devi was so kind to him that she came personally to the village of Kendu Bilva so that he could bathe in her holy waters. It is said that he left the body in Kendu Bilva, and every year on the first day of the month of Magh, a large festival is held there in his memory. So our mat this year, they are organizing parikrama to this place. That time when I was there, after Eka Chakra, they said we will go, but it was already late, so I could not go. So you see, he was staying in his birthplace, Kendu Bilva. Then he was staying in Navadip Dham. Then he was staying in Purushottam Dham. Then he was staying in Vrindavan Dham. Then again he was staying in his birthplace. But everywhere he was worshipping his deities, serving Krishna, because he found these deities there in his own village. He found in Ajay river. So even though he was not in Dham and he could not go to Ganga, Ganga came. And actually he was always in Dham because he was pure devotee of Radha Madhav. Where Radha Madhav are there is Vrindavan. There is a difference of opinion about where Jayadev Goswami left this body. His body. Here is mistake, typing mistake. Though some say he returned to Kendu Bilva, others claim it was Puri, and still others say that he went to Vrindavan. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur has stated his opinion that Jayadev Goswami left this world from Jagannath Puri. But it doesn't matter for pure devotee. Wherever he is always in Dham. Because his consciousness is always at the feet of Krishna in his service. So he's always in Dham. Though some people say that Jayadev Goswami returned to Kendu Bilva to spend his last days, there is no indication anywhere that he brought his Radha Madhav deities with him. You see, I made mistake. There is no indication. Maybe he did or did not. But even this is not necessary for pure devotee. By chanting his name and by smaran, kirtan and smaran, they are worshipping Krishna wherever they are. Wherever they are always in Vrindavan, in the service of Sakhi. They are always serving. In their heart, under the guidance of their Guru Rupa Sakhi, they are always serving. Guru in the form of Sakhi in Vrindavan. Their leader, under whose guidance, her guidance, they are doing their seva. In fact, these deities were taken by the king of Jaipur to a place named Ghati sometime after Jayadev Goswami's passing away, and they are still being served in the Jaipur area. So whether they were taken from there or where, so they are now in Jaipur area. Jayadev Goswami's disappearance day is on the 6th day of the waning moon in the month of Paush, So Jayadev Goswami had no children, though he was married. So now, who will serve the deities? Krishna himself made arrangement for his service. So we should not worry, if I will not have children, then I cannot serve Krishna. That is not possible. But also we should not think that child is automatically obstacle for the service of Krishna. No, sometimes it is necessary, like in the case of that Gopinath Acharya. Gopal Bhatta Goswami blessed him, you will have a child. And that child was necessary for continuing the service of Radharaman. Till today, they are serving that family. Gopal Bhatta Goswami did not have any child, his own biological, but he blessed that Brahmin, and that Brahmin gave him a child, and they are serving. So, the main importance is we should not calculate. Main importance is we are always calculating our, as Sridhar Maharaj said, provincial interest, local interest, means my own selfish interest. We are calculating what is for my enjoyment. But real devotees, they're always thinking how I should serve Krishna. What is Krishna's desire? How he wants to serve? They always have desire for the service of Krishna. That is why they are getting, because they have that desire. But I'm complaining, I'm praying for guidance, I'm praying for service, but I'm not getting. Because actually I don't want the service of Krishna. I am praying for my own enjoyment. In the name of Krishna, should I serve like this or like this? But in reality, I'm thinking, in my heart, this would be better, but my enjoyment. I'm not thinking about service of Krishna, what he wants. That is why I'm not getting. Because I'm thinking this would be better, but ultimate target is what would be good for me, for my enjoyment. But saying, oh, guide me for the service. But I don't desire the service of Krishna. That is why I'm not getting, not that he's not giving. I am not wanting. Then why Krishna will give? Why Guru will give? Why? You don't want, you want enjoyment. So why you are deceiving us? You are asking as if for the service of Krishna, but you are deceiving. You don't want service of Krishna. You want your own enjoyment in the name of so-called service of Krishna. So, but there are real devotees like Jayadev Goswami. So today is his disappearance day. I am bowing down to his lotus feet. I could see his bhajan place in Champahati, and also during Navadip Dham Parikrama, we are going where he was staying before Champakati, where he wrote that Ashavatar. When going to Simanta Dvip, that day Parikrama, Barakona Ghat, Jagai Madai Ghat, that Ghat, then going there, wrote, there is the place of Jayadev Goswami. So this I could see, but his Kendu Bilva place I could not see this year. But I saw these two places of Jayadev Goswami. Maybe I saw in Vrindavan, but I don't remember. In Keshigat, I was in Keshigat, but I don't remember if we went to this place. But Jayadev Goswami is a real devotee, so I'm bowing down to his lotus feet and the lotus feet of Padmavati Devi. She is also pure devotee. I'm praying for their causeless mercy, for pure devotion to Krishna and his devotees. Tomorrow we will further hear.